What's up, you guys? Happy VPR Thursday. Partner, you are looking bright and just vibrant. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm making sure we're live on Instagram right now on
Nice.
my Instagram. So we are live there. What's going on? World, Facebook.
Mhm.
Let me actually plug in my mic because I'm so not used to hearing this audio. But what's going on, VPR? It is another beautiful Thursday. And of course, we are here with Kiana the Goddess. But before we kick off the show, that sounds way better, VPR. All right. Before we kick off the show,
Mhm.
definitely want to let the women fill in. Now, I want to ask you, how did you spend your weekend? It was your birthday.
That's right. I spent it
That's right.
Puerto Rico.
I didn't know if you wanted to, drop
Yeah.
where you was at. You know what I mean? Where you was at. I was just like, I ain't trying to.
Well, I'm not there anymore. So,
Yeah.
but yes, it was beautiful. I'll say this: I took my daughter with me. She just turned 21. She's a Libra like us.
Damn, she grown.
She's
Where did
grown.
the time go, VPR? Where did the time go, VPR?
That's what I say. She has not quite found that balance yet. So it was an interesting vacation.
It
I
takes some
still need
time.
a vacation from that vacation. But I was so grateful. And honestly, it was the best birthday I ever had. It started with massages with her. I had a couple of my besties with me. And then the next day we were on the flight. So it was beautiful. When we got to our hotel, shout out to our like concierge, the guy that worked at the hotel from 3 to 11. He was on it. He took our bags. It was like very personal service. I rented us the penthouse suite.
As you should. VPR, you hear it as she should.
Wait till you guys see the suite with the outside jacuzzi and a private wall. So, like, literally, if you wanted to even just sunbathe out there, nobody could see anything. So, it was absolutely beautiful. And they treated us wonderfully. He would shuttle us back and forth to Old San Juan. And then, I love to walk, FMI. So, in the morning, I would get up and I would go on my treks. And I learned
VPR, the treks go crazy.
Facts, the treks go hard. I learned exactly where I was, how to maneuver, like, okay, because I'm, still actively learning Spanish on Duolingo. But as I'm going, I'm like, okay, I know this street cuts to this. And I'm realizing, okay, we drove here. All right. I know I'm going the right way when I hit this. If you ever get a little confused, right? Like I've got landmarks in my mind. So I was loving it. I was not feeling like a tourist at all.
Hey, and VPR, if you're in the chat, shout out to everybody that's joining early. Wish Kiana a happy belated birthday. I'm glad that she took time off and really enjoyed herself. If anybody deserves it, it is this woman across from me on the screen that you guys are seeing here. So
You
happy
too.
belated, Kiana.
You need one ASAP partner because you work hard and you be in these
Mhm.
streets.
I didn't even take my birthday vacation. I'm still trying to have it planned, but I got so many events. Speaking about the events, we got October 30th. We got the Hit the Beat, Hot 97 DJ Drewski Halloween Penthouse Bash in Manhattan. Go and check that out. We had the flash sale yesterday where tickets were only $10, but now they're not. You know what I'm saying? When we hit that flash sale, we have already sold out tickets, and it is super cool. So we only have a few left. You know what I mean? We've been really moving numbers in that. November 2nd, we bringing DJ Drewski Hot 97, of course, myself to Staten Island at the Funky Monkey. We got that planned. October 26th, I'm in Queens live with CP the DJ. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
I met him at DTF. I think that was on Pyro show. I love it. I love how the circles just intermingle. Lit,
Yeah.
lit.
It's fine. When you in this industry, talking about that, when you're in this industry, you have to just sit back and view it, not from a listener standpoint or just like a consumer standpoint. I think we get lost in that. I'm glad you brought that up, Kiana, because I had a slide here. So if for the people that's tuning in here, I don't like to too much focus on numbers, but I had an artist here, Tusi, and he hopped on like Instagram or Facebook, and he recorded a video. So I'm gonna play that video here, and then I'm gonna continue the conversation with y'all. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Talk to me in the chat.
Yeah, top of the morning. Say hello.
And do it like this.
My project don't at least do 20,000, I will quit rapping. Y'all got my word.
Okay.
I'll go get it some other way. So don't ever get it misconstrued. This ain't about no numbers. That's how confident I am. I'm trying to tell y'all. This project selling and this project moving. After what we number 4 right now, on all genres. Like, come on, my move. Don't get it misconstrued.
So I'm glad we brought up that video here, VPR. So, Kiana, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's a bold statement, right? To say if I don't hit this amount of numbers, I'm gonna quit, because that's really a great way to have your bluff called by everybody that says don't buy his shit, right? Like, but I mean,
Yeah.
clearly his numbers have, remained. I just feel like in this world of hip hop, it's so new with how people are attaining streams, and it's kind of like the politics now that we deal with.
Politics go nuts.
Facts, but it's in the music industry, and with digital streaming and everything, it has really become a tremendous game changer between even evaluating what's real and what's not, right? There's, not to mention, there's just a lot of smoke and mirrors in the entertainment industry regardless. So I don't know, partner. What are your thoughts?
Okay, and I do think that the broader audience miss that point that you just put forward. And I brought up the video of Tusi today because I remember him doing the live, and I'm not the biggest Tusi listener, but I do see when these artists put these numbers out. I'm seeing when I'm seeing Ice Spice, one of the bigger female artists, at least it looks like, she sold 20K, and then I look, and his project numbers just came back in on Billboard. He was 50 and he sold 16K. So,
That's
I'm not
crazy.
I'm not holding him to the fire like he's holding him to the fire. I mean, well, he's holding himself.
Mhm.
And in the video, he was just going along. He's just saying, I know the quality of the music and people don't like quality music anymore. Now, that brings me to my next point. Artists need to understand that they're not only competing amongst other artists, they're not only competing amongst like the wider industry, they're competing among streamers. It's a broader audience now to get their attention span and their base, because you have to think people get in cars now, and primarily they will put on music.
Yep.
But now people put on VPR on
Okay.
Thursdays at 11 a.m. People put on the Joe Rogan podcast. People put on a Joe Budden podcast.
Yep.
So you're competing with all those entities, along with the Kai Sanats,
Right.
along with the Aiden Rosses, the I Show Speed, and Neons, and it's not as easy as it was when
Balloon pop shows.
what you say, partner?
I said the balloon pop shows.
Yeah, the balloon, the 1v5 that we actually have coming out, Hit the Beat, at our home base new studio. When y'all touch base on, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna drop the location, but we got a full studio. You can come shoot videos, record music, and then some event space. So big things, but shameless drop. Yeah, so when you're competing amongst all those entities to get those same streams, you end up with 16K, and now you got to face the flame of you got to get a CDL. See, and he was, a CDL pays the same thing as an artist, but you're getting paid. So
probably more.
yeah, and it's consistent. But my thing is, artists understand now that the streaming game is completely different, man.
Mm-hmm.
People are streaming 24/7, so you don't got that same time of a minute and 2 seconds that you think you had before. Whereas selling a CD, you knew someone was investing into 30 minutes of your project, and it was a physical, tangible object that you could, listen to, and you got that money. Now.
And I think it was Marcus Divine, and shout out to him and the Grammy nod on his song. We are definitely rooting for you. But remember how he was talking about his production company / label, right? Mm-hmm. And how, with his music, you go straight to his website. He's removing all of those third party. Those streams don't equate to much when it talks about the cha-ching, right? Oh, the smartest artists right now are the ones who take full ownership of their creative control and of the customer end-to-end process, meaning from the time that the customer goes and hears that snippet of your music and decides, it's the point of sale for them, they make the purchase, and then whatever your credit card processing fee, that's the only thing that you're worrying about. Other than that, if they paid 99 cents for your album, you probably received 82 cents of that. And you cannot say that is the same for a stream. So when you hear people say, you know, you can't find my music on Apple and et cetera, because I'm taking ownership of that. I love it.
And what they miss is Spotify pays roughly 0.4 cents per 10 streams. That means what? You need 1,000 streams to generate what, $4 in revenue? Think about that. And that's to think that everybody on that platform is subscribed to watch you. That's not the unsubscribed listener.
Correct.
So that's what I'm trying to push and, you know, tell some of these artists when they're meeting me in person and they're asking what's the next step into my career, because I have that conversation a lot on the weekends, and I'm just like, hey, you really have to focus on yourself as a business and take yourself away from the product and look at what you're selling,
right?
And look at what your brand is and what you're marketing. And so many artists miss that, even older acts. So it's not an age thing. It's really it's a brand thing.
Yes, Jay-Z said, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman," right? And that's what it comes down to. That's where that, you know, juxtaposition is right there for you to say, okay, I need to, this is my artistry, this is my craft. How do I actually turn this into a viable business? Something that's repeatable, something that's monetized. And that's where understanding the business behind the music is so essential, right?
And I feel, you know, me personally, I do see a lot of artists in particular, they run away from the idea of their job. I mean, well, they run away from the idea of the music industry as a job. And when I bring it to them as that, they're like, no, it's just, you know, something I really could release myself. And I'm just like, yeah, that's amazing. And it is something that you can do that with. But for what you're trying to achieve, business and a business plan has to be behind that. And you have to look at it as a 9-to-5. You can't run away from it. You already run away from your 9-to-5. You come here and you run away. You want to run away from this as well,
right? When does the work get put in, right?
Yeah, I'm tired, Kiana. You know what I mean. So much music is sent to me, and and gets paid. I mean, gets paid to play. And I go back and I look for these songs on the DSPs. And I was making a joke while in the car. I'm like, yo, you know, I got a lot of artists that are going to be streaming nowhere near you on no DSPs because they don't release their music on Spotify. And I get it, you could do that, but they don't release their music on YouTube. And okay, you could do that, but they don't release their music on their website either. They want to release it on Instagram.
Right. They don't even have a website. How about that?
Yeah. And, you know, so I just worked with a recent artist and I sat down with him and I was just explaining his some of that points that he could attack in his career. And within a week, he listened to me and turned around and he produced a video. And now the video is sitting at 4K and people from all across the world are sending features to get on the song.
Nice.
And he thanked me on the side of it. And it just goes to show people want to fall in love with the product. And we have a lot of artists that view this platform. People want to fall in love with the product. And what you place out there, whether it be mixed and mastered, what you place out there visually is what counts. And I can't vibe with a song all the time through audio, but through a visual representation, I could get a sight of what you're seeing and what your life is. And that's what music creates, and that's what music does. And a lot of people fall through the pits of not releasing and putting it on Instagram. And I'm like, damn, it hurts, man.
I agree.
A lot of artists want deals, and they come to me.
Instagram owns your rights to your music, right? Like, what do we do?
Like, you know what I mean? The light went out. That's how I really get technical difficulty. Right? The light just went out. I pissed somebody off.
Turn the light on.
You know what I'm saying? I pissed somebody the hell off. And my light don't went out, man. Look at that. So VPR, we keep it pushing, man. It's all love on this side. So while we got this up here, we were just talking Spotify numbers, and Tusi saying he's gonna quit if he didn't sell 20K, and he sold 16K. So that man, you know what I mean? I ain't telling him not to quit or whatever. You know what I mean? I want him to make his music, make your coins, but don't do that. What's going on, Velvet? Top of the morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to see you guys. I'm glad. So VPR, do we have some parents in here? You know, can we get some claps for the parents? Can we get some claps for the parents? If you're listening to VPR, clap it up for the parents. I'm not a parent myself, but I know how hard it is to raise a child now more than ever.
Sure.
Kiana, what do you consider yourself? You that old school or that new school parenting?
Oh, I'm a mix. I'm definitely a mix. I'm very much old school when it comes to respect, when it comes to boundaries, rules, all of those things. But I'm very new school in the fact that I don't believe children should be seen and not heard, because they're human beings. So if you don't hear them, how can you know what they're going through? I'm with my children expressing themselves in a respectful way, right? When they disagree about something or whatever the case may be, we can have that conversation, because I want them to be emotionally intelligent individuals and adults and well-rounded. And then I'm also very like silly. Like I do a lot of crazy things with my kids and like, play these characters and stuff and just have a lot of fun with them, because I think that that is such an essential component of, kind of creating just these memorable moments. Like for someone who grew up personally in such a traumatizing type of situation, I wanted my kids to enjoy their childhood. And so even as my older kids, like they'll send me, like they're so nostalgic, they'll send me pictures when they were little, or they'll send, like Jordan will come into New York City and he'll drive by something in Queens close to where we used to live. He'll send me a picture with like the tears. We had so many moments that we shared and continuously share, right? Like even when we're not together, getting together on the holidays and stuff. And so, yeah, I'm a very involved parent. I'm the type of parent where your punishment will be writing an essay.
Write in your notes. I have to write in my notes to go copy and paste
page essay, because beating your ass is not really going to teach you the lesson.
See, I'm glad you said beating your ass. So VPR, we said what kind of parent you are. We have our guest up here, Kipp Piles, but I'm not going to bring him to the stage yet. I need to do a little bit something special for Kipp Piles, man. You know what I mean? That's not his first rodeo at VPR, but
right.
All right, VPR. So what kind of parent are you in this situation? If you catch your kid in bed with another kid, what is you doing? Is you beating that ass, or we get rerunning now? VPR, Thursday morning, baby, 11 a.m. Let's get to it.
Caught him in the bed with my daughter. They don't give you a right to put your hands on my son.
Yeah, it does.
He know the rules. Okay, and I tell him the rules, but when it comes to my children, you do not put your hands on my child.
They don't go in the bed.
Understood.
They stay in the living room.
Understood. He put his hands on you, correct?
So
do not touch my child anymore.
This is what happens.
All right. So boom, we're gonna stop that right there.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna stop that right there. Can we bring to the stage our guest, the man of the hour himself, Kipp Piles, before we start up this conversation?
Absolutely. Welcome, KP.
Hey, what's going on? What's happening?
What's going on, Kipp Piles? How is your morning treating you?
Hey, it's good. I'm good. I'm glad to be back up in the building with y'all, man. I'm good.
Yes,
all right. Guys, shout out to everybody in the chat right now, right? And showing love. Velvet, I see you. All the people in the chat from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So, Kiana, it brings me back to the question. You just seen that video. Kipp, I don't know if you have kids. You don't even have to explain that here. But what kind of parenting are you now? Is the man in the right for getting the young man out of his daughter's bed?
It's a tricky situation, but I mean, I don't know any father that want to come home and see anybody that live under his roof, and or even a guest of his in the bed with anybody, So I really can't fault him. I don't know too many fathers that's going for that,
Yeah. I mean, he definitely didn't have the right to put his hands on a child. I think physically removing him from the house was definitely an option, right? Yeah. But I don't know if he physically assaulted him. If so, that's crazy, because he's a grown ass man. And at the end of the day, these kids are teenagers, right? Come on. Where's the accountability for your daughter? What are you teaching your daughter when it comes to that? Because there's some accountability that goes there. This wasn't a case of rape, right? This was a case of consensual sex. And so therefore, the best thing that he could have actually done is made that a learning lesson for both of them, and then called the mother, right? He could have been like, yo, get dressed, giving himself a moment, go take it a shot or whatever the case may be. Get the fuck dressed, come out here, and I'm going to talk to both of you. And I'm about
to that parent voice. Get the fuck dressed.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the anger, right? I completely get it. And I know when boundaries have been crossed, but those are the times where your kids are looking to you. And what are you going to do? Come, be around your daughter all the time, pull up on every guy that she may or may not be smashing, right? Now is the time to really instill those values. Are they together? Are they a couple, right? Like there's so much context that we also don't know, but never do I think it's right. And I would have definitely been that mother knocking at that door. Okay?
Yeah. I get it on both sides.
Hand in the face.
I definitely will put a sign on, I would lay down some ground rules, for anybody that comes in, and I would tell them, hey, nobody doing nothing in this house but me.
Right.
And, if anybody else, does, then, at your own risk. So that way,
nobody at your own risk is a very open statement here. Welcome to VPR, guys, on Thursday, 11 a.m. And we are live here with Canada Goddess, of course, the host with the most, and Kipp Piles. His is now, I'm not sure what season we on, but Kipp Piles have graced us in New York in person.
Yeah.
I've seen the man perform, and I know his music. I still, one of his songs hold near and dear to my heart. So I'm glad to have him on. I'm glad to have him on the platform today. And normally I'll kick it off by asking you a few questions, but I want to do something a little bit different today, okay? I've seen that you dropped a video 2 months ago called Yessir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to get into that. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Chef Fresh.
I've been doing okay.
Shout out to Chef Fresh in the chat.
Can we do better?
Yeah, I think we can definitely do better. I've been having a lot
Shout out
of
to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all share the stream, like the stream. We got Kipp Piles here, man. Tuning in VPR Radio Canada Goddess, DJ FMI.
So I needed your help, so that's why I asked you to come here. So
First step is to maybe get some fresh air, and then we'll open up and talk about it today, okay?
sounds great. Let's do it.
Let's go. Right this way.
All right, it's a beautiful day today, isn't it, Kipp?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
But you've got some problems you need to tell me about, don't you?
Yeah, I've been going through a lot of loss, a hard, bad breakup, and I lost family members, and it's been having me like in a down, low space. You know what I'm saying?
You see VPR here, whole actor.
Yeah, facts.
He don't need 30 people around him with guns.
No, right. He's like, let me tell you a story.
And really positive. I think if you keep continuing to do the things that you enjoy, you're going to persevere.
You really think so?
Yes, sir.
Cool. I believe.
I believe it as well.
Yes, sir.
Rep your city, yeah, yeah. Rep your city, yeah. Rep your city, yeah. Rep your city, yeah. Rep your city, rep your city, rep your city, yeah, yeah. Rep your city, rep your city. Hey, yeah, I put on for my city, yes, sir. They can't help it, man. They gotta rock with me, yes, sir. You hustle hard and pop a lot of tags, yes, sir. I put it on her, now she got it bad, yes, sir. Hey, yeah, put on for my city, yes, sir. They can't help it, man. They got.
All right, VPR. I can't give you the whole sauce, yes, sir.
Right, go and run this.
Yeah, man. We got the man here in person. So let's get into that video. What was the video shot? What was the idea and the concept behind the video that you wanted to capture?
Pretty much it was just made to be like for anybody that's repping anything, just saying yes, sir, just pretty much stamping it, whether it's your town, your favorite team, whatever you put on for, saying we just putting the exclamation point on it. Yes, sir. We shot that in my little small town, Newberry, South Carolina, and in the capital of South Carolina, Columbia. We shot in both those locations this time.
Speaking about, let's get into your background. All right, me and Kiana personally, we know your story, but we have a lot more viewers now. We got a few people in the live. They're throwing up hearts for you. So let them know where you're from. You're talking about a small town. What small town you from?
I'm from a small town in South Carolina called Newberry, by way of Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm a self-proclaimed Carolina, Georgia boy. That's what I like to tell everybody. I've also lived in North Carolina also. So I rep the Carolinas and Georgia all in one. But I've been spending most of my life in the Carolinas, but I'm always back and forth between the three. So that's what I stand for. That's what I rep.
I want to say this, and I feel this with all your music that comes through our way. And as I see you dropping things, throughout the course of your career. And so I want to talk about your background, because every hook you write and the songs you make are so melodic, right? For me, that's the theme. Like, it becomes something that you can dance to, something that you can easily remember. And I think that in hip hop, we've always had a lot of that, but not everybody really has the ability to hit that mark. right? Kanye was doing it with his singing, but like everything was emphasized and synthesized and et cetera, et cetera. So you have that like natural melodic ability. Can you tell us about your background with music? Because it feels like so much more than just hip hop.
All my uncles, God bless his soul, my grandfather, they had bands back in the 40s and in the 60s, I think. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm making them be too old. But yeah, they had bands and I played drums, trumpet in band, drums in church. And my mom, she taught me a little bit of piano. She played the piano and sang, and she's a songwriter also. So music just kind of run in the family. So that's kind of where I picked it up. Even though I'm from the South, I'm well versed in hip hop from all over because we was able to watch all the other regions get off before we had our shot down here. So that helped influence me a lot. A lot of artists from New York, a lot of artists from out west and all over inspired my writing and, my lyrical ability. I studied music from way back when. So I kind of mix it all in and, but it's still me at the end of the day. So that's the background.
What's the music scene looking like down there now? Because I always hear the sentiment when it comes from a lot of artists that I've interviewed from the South. They're saying the music scene isn't as what it seems, but then I see artists like the Baby popping off, and I see artists like, the Atlanta dudes popping off, and then, and then you have like the little people within your community and secular communities. So what is the music scene down there for you? Do you feel like there's opportunities for you guys now being in 2024?
I mean, it is. You just got to have a car, and some gas. And you can kind of move around, but you're going to have to move around. It's kind of like we still got the chitlin circuit down here. So a lot of Georgia acts, a lot of Atlanta artists, they break in the Carolinas. But in the Carolinas, we kind of like you got to show me. It's kind of like you got to prove yourself. So they want you to be, if they see you jumping in Florida or in New York or somewhere else, then they're like, oh, okay, they give them a level of respect for you. And then they may check you out. But like, it's so much blue collar, wake up in the morning, 9 to 5, and football and sports is so big here that like entertainment kind of falls behind with that. So you kind of really gotta do it the throwback way. You gotta do street campaigns, run ads, put posters up. It's still folks that run up on me asking for CDs. So I got an OG I'm chopping it up with now about just giving them some CDs, and we're just gonna do it the Dolph way. We're just gonna give them out. And you know what I'm saying? If we find them on the ground, we're gonna pick them back up and give them out again. You know what I'm saying? That's real. CDs, you know what I'm saying? Because if the grid ever go down, guess what we back to? If you didn't download and save everything off the cloud, you right back to your CD player. So I tell everybody, even though if you get a new 2020 vehicle, still keep you some like from the last decade or back, because you never know, you might want to ride and still, jam some music.
Nah, everybody trying to stunt now and drive Teslas. Go ahead, Kiana.
Yeah, you're so right about that, bro. Now, I want to say the beautiful thing I think about that when people come from a small area versus like a New York City or an LA, I feel like the hunger there is so much stronger, right? Because the want versus the ability to get it and the small likelihood just increases that hunger. Whereas when you're in New York City, like every rapper out here thinks that they're the best and that they're going to run up the numbers, right? That just becomes like almost a delusional thing because they're so accustomed. First of all, hip hop is obviously born in New York City, and they look around and they just figure, I have all of the components it takes to make it. But if you don't have that drive and that hustle, right? Like look at Nipsey, look what he did. He really set a bar. And so when you take it back to that like street team guerrilla marketing, it's very like Shampoo, right? Shampoo still utilizes those techniques. Look how he had dudes all through the streets of New York for DJ Khaled's last album.
And Don Toliver too. He had us outside. YNBS was outside for Don Toliver when we were doing the promotion.
Absolutely. And Busta Rhymes.
And Busta Rhymes on his last single that he was pushing to.
Yep.
Yeah. I look back and I do feel like the art of that is, like you said, you have to keep something relevant. And I do see artists pushing vinyls and different things with their music. So artistically now, where do you find yourself in 2024? What space are you creating from musically?
I've always been like an artist. It don't matter what I go through. I can kind of just go in the studio and I can draw from experience. So whatever I got to do, I can just do it. I'm kind of like a workhorse that way. But I'm watching the game. It's just different. I think the music we kind of going through the Great Depression in the music industry, because every time we kind of we hit a peak.
Let them cook, VPR. Let them
doing
cook
something well. They kind of, and I ain't gonna get too specific in the days. They kind of make sure that everything kind of hit a reset button. You know, we went from vinyl to tapes, to CDs, to streaming, and you know, and it took the control out of the artist's hands as far as the residuals. Because you know, when you go hand to hand, you getting it front end. But really, streaming game is a long game, so it's more of a back end type of game. So that's why it's so important for you, you know, to own, you know, everything, so you can get paid from all these different avenues. Your PROs, your sound exchanges. You want all that money to come back to you. And one of DJ Chuck T, he mentioned that, you know, if an independent artist actually owns all of the different and does his paperwork right with the MLC and everybody, your streams actually will equate to a penny per stream. But that's only if you do the paperwork for all the different places that you have to register your music. So now we talking about you do 100,000 streams. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now we getting back to the real money on that makes sense, you know, for us again. But a lot of people, they don't tell you that. And a lot of time, if you chasing just a big check up front, you'll give it all away just to be able to get something when you're in a struggling situation, which I totally understand. So you got to kind of weigh it out, know yourself, and see what makes sense for you to do short term and long term, kind of think longitudinally, you know what I'm saying, and make sure it all makes sense and work the move like that. So, you know, I'm always adapting. I try to stick with what I know that I'm good at, but I'm also, if I have any weaknesses, I read books, I watch videos, I watch y'all show all the time with everybody y'all be talking to. And I write my nose down, soak up game, and I try and apply it like that. So that's how we playing it today, you know.
Man, you're making that shit sound player VPR.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
we pushing P, man. You know what I'm saying? The strong way, not the wrong way, the right way. Yeah, you know.
So I got your Instagram pulled up here, and I want to get into one of your snippets. I think the song is called No Difference. You can see it here. Let's see if I can get the audio playing on that. Let me get into that record.
Oh, let get, this nigga spit. Run up them deals. Crazy. Let go, let get, this nigga spit.
You see, you dropping a snippet. Now I'm looking for the full record. We were just talking about this on VPR. I mean, earlier before you joined the stream, man. Is that record out actually right now, or
it's out on all streaming platforms? Yeah, absolutely. I did that one in Atlanta. I recorded in Atlanta, sent it out to my guy in LA. He mixed and he mastered the song for me. Sent it back. We put it out. We dropped it. You know, it's a volume game. Streaming is also a volume game. You gotta, you know, people don't like quantity, but you need to have a lot of quantity. You know, and you can still make sure you can still do quality control and make sure it's still A1 from day one before you put it out. And, you know, you just want when people hit your page, if somebody run across you, you don't want to have a menu with one item. You want to have many items. That's how people become fans.
Free game, VPR, free game.
Yeah, and if you're a little nervous about streaming, you can always go to throwback route. I ain't gonna necessarily say throwback route. It's always valuable to me. Just lock in, find you a DJ. Just put out a tape. You can throw a few songs on there. Just build it up like that. Do a few tapes, and then if you want to drop your album, save your album for the back end. You know, just drop.
You're giving them a whole rollout right now.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
God, like you're doing a whole lot. You have to make y'all subscribe to Patreon for $5 a month just so Kipp could Kipp game me a month. We're gonna give him some of the residuals. $4 of that.
Yeah, y'all got it though. You know, I don't want to give all the spill away because I know y'all both. You know, y'all do y'all business.
As you should. It's always awesome to hear an artist that is well developed through the game, someone that had deals around them, tables, managers, different situations around them to be versed in it. You know what I mean? When we talk about the Nipsey Hussles, we talk about the young adults, we look at artists like you. You just gave a whole rollout that I speak with these artists, but they look at me and they say, oh, but I can't do none of that.
Right.
And I have these conversations daily. And they're the same ones that want deals, and me and Kiana discuss it all the time. And I don't try to steer anyone away from a major record deal. If this is what you want, come over here. I could entertain it if that's what you need. Mm-hmm. But understand what it comes with. You know what I mean? Understand your business. That's all I ask, and that's what you do with your career, Kipp.
I appreciate it. If you give, in order to get something, you got to give up something usually. So if you want to be the boss, you're going to have to put up your own bands, your own racks. If you want a little less on the table to do for yourself, then you let somebody else put the money up. Then that's who you got to answer to. So y'all make your mind up how you want to play it. You can do it at your own pace this way and kind of keep score amongst yourself and write it down and say, hey, where am I 6 months from now? Where am I a year from now? But when you got an investor over your head, they're gonna be like, they gonna
want their return.
Yeah. So,
free game. All of you artists, whether you are aspiring or already established and just looking at, what's the big picture here, run this up, listen, tune in, literally you're coming in on the back end of what we were just talking about, right? And it matches so beautifully with the conversation we were having, because like you said, things have changed, right? Technology has increased, and we've seen from the 8 tracks, even if we go back, right, to the tapes, et cetera, et cetera. And one main thing that's happening now that a lot of people don't realize is like, yeah, streaming is now the giant, right? But you have so much more control because you have digital access. You have the ability to learn
and track your numbers.
Or if we didn't go to school, right? Like, you didn't have an entertainment lawyer. There wasn't a way to just be like, hey, Google, hey, Chat GPT, right? Like, so many different tools that you can utilize to learn. But if you don't want to turn your music into a business, then you will turn a blind eye, right? But if you want it to make money, this is it.
Kipp, and a lot of before you joined the chat, we were saying artists tend to run away from the idea of music and their artistry as a 9-to-5. People already run away from the idea of a 9-to-5. If you're an artist, you don't care there. You're just making money so you can put it into your art. But they're scared to treat their music like a business but they want the returns of a business. And that's where I feel like the disconnect is, and conversations like this where we have you up here and we could showcase your career and your accolades is why we have this, because a lot of people are tuned in right now and they're watching steadily. I'm watching the numbers right here. So let's get into this video right now. It is Kipp Piles, I Know.
You will say, yes, I know. Demon time on Saturday, White-O. Bought the new car to flex, shouty, I know. We be chasing validation, White-O. 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 Kipp Piles. Understood the assignment, I know. Some of y'all follow blindly, White-O. Everybody got an iPhone, I know. Who told you it made you better, White-O? You thicker than a snicker, I know. Got a bullet in Miami, White-O. You fell in love with a stripper, I know. But knew she was for the streets, nigga, White-O. I got a lot of fans, yes, I know. You ask a lot of questions, White-O. Don't have a lot of friends, yes, I know. Cause if he is a sin, but White-O. You got a lot of male friends, I know. Only one is an exception, White-O. Y'all never.
Love it.
I know, VPR. I changed out my mic. I had to make sure I plug in my computer to charge it. And more people are joining. Shout out to everybody right now tuning in, man. We got Kipp Piles. Y'all been hearing his experience, his music, his journey. Now, while we have a few minutes left of the show, what projects are you working on, and what gems do you want to drop for all of the listeners? They don't even got to be artists, just life gems.
Projects. I got the birthday song coming up. I'm trying to. I've been having scheduling problems with the hurricanes and all of those type of things going on, but we booked some models in Miami. I got to make it down there to shoot this birthday song. Hopefully, if I can't get it out this last quarter of the year, I'm gonna try to drop it like as a happy new year type of song. And it's an anthem for all, it's for everybody. The hook part is for everybody. But if you get into the verse part, I'm really just bigging up women, pretty much saying, same way 50 was like, go shout, it's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? But I studied every birthday song and I try to take a different angle from how they usually do it. Cause I said, I got to at least get one song that they can't press skip on, that I can live forever and ever. And I want that song to kind of be one of my legacy songs. So that song, birthday song, coming out here soon. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get that to y'all. And that song for everybody. Your mama can dance to it, your daddy, your grandma, your whole family lineage, and won't nobody have to block no cussing out. It's a clean song. So all my women that's doing your thing out here, it's your birthday. If you're raising your kids, you're a great woman. You got the right character. You making moves. You getting to it. You know what I'm saying? We got somebody that's a huge inspiration. You know what I'm saying? In Kiana. You know what I'm saying? On the show with you. And also, man, I appreciate you, DG and FMI, because, man, y'all been supporting me since day one, man. And I can't ask for more, man. I'm glad that I developed a relationship with y'all. And that song coming in the gym that I can drop. If there was one gym, I would just say this. If you can't pull up on them and meet them and connect with them like that. Just buy books, and let people be your mentor that way. Watch videos and learn from the folks, because they still giving the drip, they still giving the sauce and the spill that way. If you can buy Four Loco and some show cigars from the store on your block, you can go on Audible. You can even some of the books on Spotify or any streaming platform. You can listen that way and still learn. Or you can go to Kindle or whatever when they had unlimited for the low. That's your way. That's your way to go on adventures, to paint, pictures in your mind and reading. And when you learn, can't nobody take it away from you. So you get all the free, I ain't gonna say it's free. You paying for it, but it's more valuable then because you paying for it. So, that's one way. And watch shows like this. Watch VPR. They always gonna make you smart. If you don't leave watching this show smart, grab your Q-tips. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
VPR, honestly, when certain guests come and steal the show, just with this, it's a sight to behold. And this guy here has worked hard in this music industry, I know. And the music, he's never sent me one song that I could not skip. You know what I mean? I bumped it from when I was driving away in Brooklyn from on Biggie's block in St. James Place.
Yep.
I was singing it up with Shorty and Car. You get what I'm saying? And it's to this day while I'm still singing that. So and I got your other records, man. And I continue to add your records to VPR Radio's playlist. You always get a burn in all the clubs that I'm at. I've been touring everywhere. I would love to come out your way and set up a tour. I just gotta sit out there and you just gotta send me some venues. And with your idea and with my team, bro. Watch what we do down there. Watch.
I already know it. I love it.
Your little town will never be the same.
Yeah, I'll get somebody to fly out there. Hey, I got numbers, bro. I ain't all right, watch.
I believe you,
I'm just like, when you said what you said with that market, I said,
come and turn it up.
I'm already going to Atlanta. We already got LA and then in November. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to swing down south.
Yeah, I be in the A, man. I be in the A a lot, at least twice.
Oh, all right. So we're gonna tap in.
Yeah. So just holler at me. I've been in the studios down there mingling. I done rubbed the elbow with some.
I need to get you some beats. I got a few producers. I'm executively producing a project. I need to send you over some music. Okay. We'll chop it up after.
Let's do it, man. Got the email. We'll chop it up. Yeah.
Appreciate it. VPR, you've seen another amazing episode. Kiana the Goddess, do you want to close out the show with some amazing words?
I do. I want to say, well, first of all, I want to thank Kipp for being here again with us. It was an amazing show. You always drop gems, and continuously learning and educating yourself is such an important key to growth, right? So I just want to encourage that for everybody. Learn something today and teach something today, and let each moment just be a teachable one. And we'll see you next week, and love you always for being here with us. Partner, you're fantastic. I'm going to definitely get you this birthday song too, by the way, if I didn't send it to you. It's definitely giving Anthem.
Say less. I'm here for it. VPR, thank you for tuning in. All the subscribers, everybody from Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching. You've met Kipp Piles. Go check out his music, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye, guys.
Peace.